And hello to all the tech founders out there. Good morning, good afternoon. I don't know what time zone you're in, but my name is Keith, and this is the Startup Sales Mastery video podcast via Co-Founder Club Communities. How are we all doing today? If you've seen the instruction, the content above and the titles, this is Market Week. Last week we covered solutions, your solutions, and how we can apply that solutions to actually solving a problem. This time, I want to delve that little bit further. The next step, which of course is the market. So what is this week all about? What is today all about? Today, I'm going to give you a little overview as to the why. Why is market so important? What are the tools that we can use to assess our market? And really, why is this profitable? How is this profitable? What are we looking to get out? That is what we're up to today. So let's start really, really simply. Lean. Everyone in the startup game should know the concept of lean. This is what, we all get taught really, which is to effectively test your system, get it out there fast. It's not ready. Don't worry about it. Just get it out there. Try and sell it. Do whatever. Go, 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 go. And of course, the concept is fail fast if you're going to fail, just to try and find out what's going on. That's really where this whole market stuff comes into play. Now, market, yes, test your market, understand your market, do your research. If you've looked at the business plans, if you're going after funding, you know perfectly well, those guys want you to know what the market is all about. But it's really coming back in to that early, lean concept of, go find out quickly. The majority of startups, what is it, 94, 95% fail, and there's various different reasons why. But let's just say the biggest reason, as far as I'm concerned and everybody else is concerned, is that they're actually trying to solve a problem that people aren't prepared to pay for. I mean, is the bottom line. Solve a problem that doesn't exist, not prepared to pay for. And this market step is where we get to find out the answer to that question. So I really want everyone to understand this is where we find out the answer to that all-important question. Now, this applies to everybody. I'm part of, a lot of SaaS communities. Well, we all know I specialize more in the SaaS end of things because I like it. I don't care if you have, 50 clients, 5,000 clients. This is still applicable, less applicable in 5,000s. But look, if you don't know your market, I mean, somebody could come in and take you out. At the very beginning, of course, it is absolute paramount. So if you're a new tech entrepreneur, this is the step you must complete. Otherwise, you could be working your ass off 14 hours a day pointlessly. What are we talking about? Okay, now let's go into the how. You're selling, you've come up with it with an idea in agrotech. Sure, look, I was speaking to an agrotech guy last week. He has a solution of, what is his solution? Yeah, drones that are effectively going to fly up and down different, farmlands, and computer vision to actually scan if there's any bugs or any this, any that, what have you. This is what he's effectively doing. And I basically sort of said to him, is that something they want? And he's like, yes, 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 yes. I said, okay, excellent. Go call 50 farmers and ask them. Okay. That is one way of checking out your market. Now, there are how many different countries? Go check 10 different countries and see if you're getting the exact same results. Maybe the checking bugs is wonderful, but what the farmers really want is to check something else in, I don't know, the soil, the humidity, the this, that. And of course, with robotics, this stuff's fairly easy just to add on to your drones. So maybe they're not prepared to pay for that technology because, hey, it's only costing them one guy once a week to actually walk up and down the farms checking for bugs, but the humidity or something else. Now, again, we had this big long conversation. It was the first thing that came off to my head. I had clients before, I had clients after, and I love doing these Startup Sales Mastery podcast. It's my way of giving back to the community out there. I don't see the need to overly prepare because there's no way I can cover examples for everybody out there. But this is the example that you need to ask yourself. Now, what is your project? How can you go and check it out? You've got places like Crunchbase. Crunchbase.com should give you pretty much everything that's out in the marketplaces. LinkedIn and then LinkedIn Navigators to go find the companies, the corporates. Really what you're trying to do is assess, what is out there in the market of the solution that you're doing. The only way to do this is to actually contact people. I think at the early stage, and again, tomorrow I'm going to go more into survey campaigns and what that's all about. But the early stage, you want to speak to people. The reason you want to speak to people is because if you're doing online, you can get yes or no type of stuff. If you're speaking to people, you can get the whys, the reasons. No, I wouldn't pay for that. But if you could do this, this, and this, I would pay for that. And then you can pivot and change your product. And that's sort of the difference between, and that's why I use the term. If you go to startupsalesmastery.com, you'll see the program I have is designed to actually guide early stage startups through this. And I use the word guarantee, and people question and see, Keith, how can you guarantee that you can get customers? There's no way, even as a salesperson, you could do that. And theoretically, okay, but the reason, yes, I can guarantee is because the whole idea here is that as we're going through our customer personas, our customer pain, our customer problem, our customer journey, we are going to pivot and adjust our solution until we finally reach the conclusion that they're prepared to pay for. Hence, go through the steps and it's guarantee. I don't care if you start off as a product for farming and you finish in construction tech. You go through the process step by step, and you will end up at a conclusion that somebody will be prepared to pay for what you have. That is why we go through the process. And the market end of things is where we go through that process. Maybe in the, the Indian market. I'm going in the Indian market right now. If you're watching this from India, how you doing? But in the India, we have a slightly different, shall we say, payment mechanisms. So in India, they may not be prepared to pay for, courses and consultations the same way as in the US market. However, when it comes to scaling, the India market actually can win because the US has the people. The Indian market actually needs guys like me that are trained to outsource to be hitting the US markets for them. I don't know if that's an example that will or will not make sense to everyone because that's a pure sales example. But looking at different countries, what I'm trying to get at, apologies, table shaking, is that different markets. So your solution may not be valid in lots of countries, but it may be valid in this country, or it may be valid in that demographic. Who are your competitors? People say, well, I don't have competitors. It's like, yes, you do have competitors. You may not have, people doing the same features as you, but in terms of the customer persona problems being solved, there's always competitors. So you want to figure out who those competitors are. And again, it comes back to that question at the beginning. Is someone prepared to pay money for you to solve their problem? Well, they can, for half the price, they can have their problem mostly solved by one of your competitors, and that could render your product no good. I don't know, but again, this is what the market is all about. You want to find out who are your competitors. You want to find out in the demographics what's happening in your world. And again, the more information you can get, the better. You want to do this in such a way that you're also creating a pipeline. I'm going to go through that tomorrow, but you don't just do this for the sake of filling out a business plan. You actually do this by asking people, and you should always be asking people, would you be prepared to pay for this product? No. Okay, well, what product would you be prepared for? Well, if it could do this, this, and this, and this. Okay, so if I had that solution available, are you prepared to pay $5,000 a year to have that? I was like, well, yeah, I think if you could, excellent. Can you sign this piece of paper? It's a pre-order it. I'll have it ready in 6 months and I'll come back to you. And I just want to know that you're actually prepared to do it. You get 10 of those pre-orders, boom, you've got yourself a company. Boom, you've got yourself an investable product if your goal is to actually get finance. And this is what the whole market side of things all about. Survey campaigns I'm going through tomorrow, but I want to just get this point across that This is how we do things in terms of the market. This is why we do things. What you're actually doing in the market, exploring the market for your things, is you're taking everything that you know about your product, about your solution, about just everything, and you're actually testing it. Now, am I running a sales campaign? Not quite. I'm running a market testing campaign. This is assessing the market. Some of this is theoretical. Go online, find the competitors, ring the competitors, say hello to the competitors. Hi, I'm a potential prospect. Let me buy your product. How does it cost? Listen to what the sales reps do. See the emails that come in. Learn from it. These guys have been up and running X amount of years. I suggest they possibly have learned a few things. So see what you can, get ideas and model from them. The bottom line is that I work with people all the time. I run Startup Sales Mastery, and it's a program, and that program is designed for tech entrepreneurs to effectively take everything that they have and know and then put it into a way that people like me, salespeople, can just read. You end up with a sales playbook and then go off and do marketing campaigns, sales campaigns, do it the right way because I know exactly how it needs to be done. Obviously, eliminating the need for all these big, long conversations. That's where it's all coming into play. The amount of people that have hired me over the years, especially even these days, this is why I insist you have to do the program or I'm not going to work with you, because they tell me things like, this is the customer persona, this is the pain, this is the we don't have competitors, we don't have this. And literally in 24 hours of me doing research and calling 5 or 10 companies to verify the information, I'm told something completely different, and it happens again and again. So as a CEO, as a founder, as someone with a company, you must, okay, unless you want to cheat yourself or kid yourself, you must go through the market, your market, and do it honestly and justifiably. The customers aren't wrong, I can tell you that much right now, and you're not necessarily wrong. But what do the customers want? What are they prepared to pay for? This is what matters. And you can't say, but that's not what I'm solving, that's not what I want to solve. I mean, maybe you're an artist, but you're sure as shit not a salesman or a businessman. In sales business, I'm a businessman. I don't mean to insult, but in our world, we go find what the customers want and we give it to them. We do that by knowing and understanding our market. My name is Keith. This is the Startup Sales Mastery Podcast. We went a little over the time, but that's all well and good because I wanted to get through this properly. And if you are an early stage tech entrepreneur, click on the links above this, and I'm even giving you some freebies, so go get your information. If you need customers, get in touch after you've gone through it, because I've got some of the best sales and marketing teams on the planet that are geared up purely for early stage startup companies. And yes, if you're SaaS, you will have my full attention. Good luck, happy hunting, give it hell, take it easy, bye-bye.